Here are 5 things I did right on my first trip to London. So I just made a video talking about the 5 things I did wrong. So let's talk about the things that I did right. So I like to Google the shit out of places when I go visit them for the first time. I want to know what to do, what not to do. So almost all of these come from things I read online. So let's get into them. The first thing I did correctly was use my credit card as my ticket for the train and the public transportation. I saw a lot of people say you don't need to bother with a ticket booth. You can just use your card as cashless payment. And when I got off the airplane and was going to get the train, sure enough, there was a huge line at the ticket booth, and I was just like, I don't want to wait in that. So I went over to the ticket area and there was a woman there and I said, can I just use this? And she goes, yeah, and it's cheaper too. So clicked it, skipped the line. I was on the train within like 5 minutes. The only time I had to buy a ticket was when I went to the Stansted airport. I don't know why, but for this I had to buy a ticket. So that was the only time I had to. The rest of the time, just use my card. Which, speaking of the public transportation, that's another thing I did right. I thought it was going to be super complicated because we don't have the same kind of public transportation here. And I was like, oh my God, how the hell am I going to navigate this? But it actually turned out to be pretty easy. I do think that the trip I took to New York like a year or 2 ago helped me out because that was my first time dealing with like the subway systems. But I managed. I never once got lost. I never once got on the wrong train. I never got off at the wrong stop. Everywhere I wanted to go, I got to, and I got to in a timely manner. The third thing I did correctly is I got rid of my luggage pretty much as soon as I got there. I used an app called Nanny Bag, and the whole thing felt so sketch, and I wasn't so sure I was gonna get my bags back. But I did, and it was just so nice to not have to carry this giant backpack with me all through London. Like, I would have hated dragging that around, and my hotel was just way too far for me to go to my hotel, drop off my luggage, and then go back. I would have wasted like 2 hours doing that. So shout out to the girl who mentioned that app. I don't remember her name or anything. I found her video like at 3 a.m. one night when I was just scrolling. You really helped me out, otherwise I would have been carrying around backpacks the entire time and I would have been freaking miserable. So the next thing I did right is I made reservations for the things I wanted to do. The only thing I didn't get a ticket for was Buckingham Palace. I wanted to tour the inside and I just waited too long and it was all sold out. But I did get reservations for Westminster Abbey and the National Gallery, and I just got to skip the lines. I was like, sucks to be you guys, let me right on through, and it allowed me to stay on schedule and get all the things I wanted to do done. And the last thing I did correctly, I did not get pickpocketed. Wow! I went through doom scrolling of pickpocketing in Europe and I probably took it a little too serious. I was convinced that every single person that I encountered was gonna steal from me. So I was on high alert, and I bought like this little bag. It is a crossbody bag. I had it in front of me the whole time, and it also has a double loop thing, and I death gripped my phone like nobody's business. I usually have a strap back here. It just broke like yesterday, so I can slide my hand into it, and I was like and anytime anybody even glanced my way, I was like, you wanna fight? You wanna fight? You think you're gonna get this? Don't even try me, bro. I was probably a little too high alert. Like, locals are gonna have to tell me if pickpocketing there is really as bad as I had it in my head or if I was just being over dramatic, but I was like, ain't nobody taking any of my belongings today. I'm watching all of you. What I heard the most is that like phones get stolen. So every time I asked somebody to take a picture of me, because I was alone, I was like, okay, I was like, who looks like a tourist? So if I heard an American accent, I was like, hi, how are you? And I also did ask this British couple because they just seemed nice. They were so cute. They're like, oh my God, we've been selected. Like, somebody wanted us to take their picture. So yeah, I was purposely looking for people that looked touristy and who were like already had their phones out taking pictures. And I just slid up and I was like, so you want to take mine? You're already taking pictures, so you want to take mine as well? Okay, thank you. So everything I left with, I came back with. So those are the things I did correctly in London. Whenever you go to a new country, it's very overwhelming, especially when you're by yourself. This was my first time going to a different country by myself, so I was like, ugh. So when you do something right, it's like, yes. So be sure to check out the video I did about the 5 things I did wrong, and also my vlog about going to London.